good evening. Welcome to Cardiff City TV.
He'll shoot and he'll score! One in the area! And it's on, we did it!
Hello and welcome. It is match day. The Bluebirds are here at home to Luton Town. I'm Ali Drew and I am joined by our fantastic commentator Ash James. Welcome. Right, so it's match day at home. We've got some interesting things coming up in the show. We're giving away some hospitality tickets. They're up for grabs, so make sure you stay tuned. That's coming up in a bit. But let's start off. Before we talk about tonight, we'll just reflect on last Saturday's draw against Preston.
Yeah, and ultimately a frustrating one, which I think shows how far we've come in quite a long, a short period of time since the summer. So, huge amount of turnover this summer, we all know that, 16 new signings, and the problems have been at the top end of the pitch, but to keep 3 consecutive clean sheets to start a league season for the first time in over 100 years is no mean feat. You've got an opportunity tonight to equal a club record of 4 clean sheets to start the season at home. It's the first time we've been able to do that since 1919, 1920. So, it shows the club are moving in the right direction, even if there are some quite obvious, and I don't want to use the word failings, but there are limitations at the top end of the pitch at the moment that are causing frustrations for not just the fan base, they'll be causing frustrations for the coaching staff and for us, the commentary team, and also for the for the players themselves as well. But I think if you're looking for what's the easier fix, and we'll be speaking to Roger Johnson in a bit, and as a former professional centre half, he'll tell you it's a lot harder to put the defensive record right than it is to get the cohesion right in the final third to start scoring goals, I think.
Right, well, let's talk about tonight and tonight's team. There's been 4 changes. What difference is that going to make out there?
Fresh legs, and I think it's an absolute necessity. I think there'll be a couple of arched eyebrows. We know what Twitter's like. The team sheet will have gone out. People will be curious as to why Ruben Colwill has dropped out after his man of the match performance of the weekend. But the harsh reality is that was his first start of the season, and you're talking about a second start in 3 days after that. That's a real tough ask. So he's still on the bench. The bench will be needed tonight. I think it's going to be a tight affair. So yeah, you've got fresh legs on the flanks as they were on the weekend. Shea Ojo comes back in. He'll have a point to prove. He'll probably feel a bit miffed that he lost his place at the weekend. But I think, Mark Harris, I'm intrigued to see Mark Harris and Max Waters start the game together. Looks like Mark's going to play on the left-hand side of the front 3 this evening. I think they deserve an opportunity together to see how that works, because it's been one or the other, and certainly has been one or the other in terms of substitutions off the bench as well this season. So I'm intrigued to see how they go, not necessarily in tandem, but how they can work in conjunction with each other. And I think the change in the middle of the park is an obvious one as well. Andy Rinomhota brings energy to the middle of the park regardless of when he's played, and he'll be a player who was left out of the weekend. They'll be itching for a point to prove this evening. And we had a cameo for 45 minutes from Young for the weekend, which left us all licking our lips wanting to see more. You've seen him straight away from the start this evening. Could have snatched all 3 points right at the death with that shot that was saved by the goalkeeper, and I think everyone here in attendance are really excited to see what he can do for 90 minutes this evening.
Now let's talk about Luton Town and what they're going to bring tonight. Obviously their manager, some may know he is a Cardiff City fan. He's from the Ronda, so he might find it a bit odd tonight.
I think if you know anything about Nathan Jones, other than the fact that he's a Cardiff fan and from the Ronda, which is the narrative, you'll know that he's an incredibly fiercely competitive human being, and he won't care who Luton are playing tonight.
He's putting that aside for tonight.
He wants 3 points. He's already got 3 points at Swansea this season. We all saw the celebrations when he got 3 points at Swansea last season. He was in the crowd celebrating with his fans. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He wears his Cardiff fandom on his sleeve when he's not playing the Bluebirds. But yeah, he'll be desperate for 3 points. They started sluggishly, which is maybe understandable with a bit of a hangover from last season. They could have easily been a Premier League club now. If things had gone their way a little bit more. And by that I mean a raft of injuries last season that really cut their legs from under them going into those playoffs. So they could have, they could have been where Nottingham Forest are at the moment. They're not. They're back at Cardiff for a tough midweek championship game. So having turned that form around with the last 2 games, he will be desperate for 3 points against the Bluebirds.
And tonight is important. Cardiff are aiming to end a 3-game winless run that they've had. They're really wanting the win tonight. They're needing it.
Yeah, and I think if you look in the context, it doesn't feel like that. I think a lot of that is the clean sheets, which is why managers espouse them so much. It's so important that if you're not scoring goals and you're struggling at that end of the pitch, just keep a clean sheet, because it keeps that momentum carrying over, it keeps the points total ticking over. So you're right, 3 games without a win, but it doesn't really feel like that at the moment because the defensive record has been so good.
Is the 5 still positive? You say they've not had a win for 3 games, but they're keeping that clean sheet, and that's what's keeping them going.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. The defensive record has been superb. And the one away from home was a big ask for that as well. When you think, 2 disappointing defeats, the 2 only defeats in the league, have come away from home. But to keep a clean sheet against a team that was struggling for form a little bit with West Brom at the moment, but a team who many suspect will be up in the top 6 at least by the end of the season, to go to the Hawthorns and keep a clean sheet was huge for carrying momentum.
Now, we will be hearing from Steve Morrison in a moment, as always. He'll be giving some harsh instructions tonight, changing it up a little bit.
He will. We've got 16 new arrivals in this squad. We've got some depth for the first time in a little while at this football club, because there were times last season when we were running on empty, running on fumes, and relying on a lot of academy product. So it's a little bit different this season. He is able to mix things up. He's still feeling out some of his new signings, of course, so he won't know exactly what to expect. He'll be expecting them, though, to rise to the challenge, that's for certain.
Well, we'll see. Well, we can hear from him now at the pre-match press conference.
No, they haven't struggled at all. I think they've signed really well. They've recruited really well. They've got a good manager that gets the best out of them. And yeah, it's going to be one hell of a game. We watched them on Friday night against Sheffield United. Could have gone either way that game. I'm sure they'll come and they'll want to repeat their result last year. And for our boys, it's another challenge. And yeah, it's a game we definitely have to stand up and be counted in. Just keep producing what we're producing at home. And as I said, if we perform like that, we'll win more than we lose. Everyone could see we're going in the right direction. Should we have had a few more goals? Yeah, 100%. We haven't. But as a team, we're going in the right direction, and that's the main thing. Of the work we put into bringing the players in, we knew the type of player we wanted to bring in. We knew the type of bodies we wanted, the characters, and yeah, there's a plan to what we put together. We haven't just gone and plucked people out of the air. I think I've said it a few times, and we knew that they could all carry out the jobs that we wanted them to do. Yeah, really good characters. A lot of the players know each other from the game, and it was just a case of bringing them together and knowing that they're all going on the same journey. And yeah, we were asking them to play football in a certain way. And I said before they all came in, they all saw what we wanted them to do, because obviously I spent a lot of time, and the guys, Jack, etc., putting the presentations together to show them exactly what we expected of them and why we were bringing them in, showing them how we wanted to do things, and then showing them carrying out those things at their previous club. So we wasn't ever going to ask them to do anything they couldn't do. And then obviously if you've got everyone wanting to do the same thing, it makes getting them to do it a little bit easier. Yeah, it's a team thing. It's a team going forward, a team going back. I know it's very cliche, but it is. It's there's lots of things that go into it. The recovery runs, the getting the ball back in the right areas, the squeezing half in the pitch all over the place, and yeah, obviously, and also if we dominate the ball and dominate possession more often than not, then obviously that reduces the amount of times the other team get an opportunity to get into your box as well. So yeah, it's a real team effort, and the boys have been excellent. And yeah, as I said, it starts from the front, from a defensive point of view, and from an attacking point of view, it starts from the goalie. So I think you can see when we've kept clean sheets, and it's been done as a real team effort, and I think that's the main thing about it. we'll keep working, we'll keep improving, we'll keep creating chances, and I'm sure if we do that, the goals will come with it. And it's as I said all along, we're a work in progress, and I think we're doing an okay job at the minute.
Cardiff manager Steve Morrison there talking to the assembled press yesterday ahead of tonight's game with Luton Town. I'm back in the hospitality. Caught up with Roger Gibbons on the weekend, I'm delighted to say. Catching up with David Giles now. How have you found the season so far?
I've quite enjoyed it, to be honest. Obviously, everyone was excited about the Norwich game. We beat Norwich in the first game of the season. Unfortunately, then going away to Reading, losing 2-1. But when you look at that now, Reading are top of the league, so it's not that bad. Bristol City was a bit disappointing because I thought we could have got something out of that game. Birmingham was smashing. We played well and we won it, and we should have won on Saturday as well against Preston. So overall, I think it's been a decent start, but I think it could have been a lot better if we'd have just managed to finish off some of the chances that we've been creating.
As you said, very much a work in progress at the top end of the pitch, but defensive record, three clean sheets to start the season at home. The home performance have been brilliant.
Well, listen, managers will always tell you that, you know, that's what the first thing they say. If we keep a clean sheet, at least we'll get a point. So, you know, Cardiff are doing that well at the moment. We look accomplished at the back. We look very solid, secure. We just need to make sure now that we start scoring goals, and that'll give everyone a lift as well and lift us up the season. Because I think where we are at the moment, I think we're better than that. I think we should be in the top 10 at least.
Difficult proposition this evening, a Luton side who obviously just missed out in the playoffs this season and have got their sea legs about them seemingly now. They had a sticky start but have found some form.
They have found some form. I actually saw them 2 weeks ago when they beat our neighbours down the road there 2-0. And it was amazing. Well, not amazing, but you look at the stats. Swansea had 75% possession and Luton won 2-0. So all that possession nonsense is total rubbish. But Luton are very, very good on the counter-attack, and they're very good from set pieces. We're talking about a guy here who's managing them, who's a Cardiff City fan, a Valley boy. He's a very, very good manager, switched on. So we'll have to be aware of them tonight. But let's hope if we can get a couple of goals early, I think, and I'm praying that we go on and win the game.
Thank you very much. Well, competition time here on Cardiff City TV as well. I'm going to throw to David to give you the question in a second. However, to remind you how to enter this competition, you need to tweet at Cardiff City FC on Twitter. Drop us the answer there, and you need to use the hashtag #CityAsOne so we can find your answer. We will choose the winner at random, and the competition prize, as it was at the weekend, will be a pair of hospitality tickets for a future game. So, Gilo, what's the question?
The question, and I tell you, it's a great prize as well. Right, we've got two Cardiff lads, ex-Cardiff City players here tonight. Roger Johnson is here at the Cardiff City Stadium, and on the bench for Luton is Cameron Jerome. Can you tell us, although they didn't play together for Cardiff City, what club did they play together for?
Thank you very much. A good stern test, I think, for everyone's trivia knowledge there. And just a reminder, you need to tweet at Cardiff City FC and use the hashtag #CityAsOne, and we will pick that winner at random, the prize being a pair of hospitality tickets for a future game. And you can come and meet David yourself here in the Regal Suite. Now, we're going to throw you back down to pitchside with Ali and the aforementioned Roger Johnson.
Right, now I am joined by a man who's made 136 appearances for the Bluebirds and scored 14 goals. It is Roger Johnson. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. You're on commentary duties tonight?
I am indeed, yes. Yeah, I did one the other week against West Brom. Good game, but excited to be at the home ground and see what it's all about. Yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight.
Yeah, so you were on commentary duties for that 0-0 draw against West Brom. Just a reflection of the season for the Bluebirds so far.
A lot of clean sheets, not many goals. But look, Steve Morrison's got them playing a really easy on the eye way of football. He's got them playing. I think the fans have been crying out for that for years. And it's attractive to watch. The clean sheets are massive. Me as a defender, I love it. If you're not conceding, then you've got more chance of winning. So I just think at the top end, then if they can just start adding a few more goals, then yeah, I mean, be a successful season.
How difficult is that early on in the season to keep those clean sheets?
Well, it's a new squad for starters, so it is difficult. They've obviously had to learn really quickly about each other. There's been a lot of changes. Signings have been great so far. So yeah, it takes time to gel and to bond, but to come in and get, I think it's 4 or 5 clean sheets. That's massive, certainly early on, like you say.
Is the focus now on getting those goals? Because the clean sheets are great if they can keep that up, but they need to start scoring some goals.
It is vital. You don't score, you don't win games. You can't keep drawing. Certainly if you want to have success towards the end of the season. But from what I've seen, I'm positive. I'm positive for what he's done here, Steve. It's good. I'm enjoying it. Like I said, I can't wait for tonight just to see. This will be my 3rd game watching them. I did the Birmingham game early in the season. Cardiff were outstanding. Obviously, I saw the game in a week or so ago. Another good performance, just no goals. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see what happens tonight.
Well, yeah, on to tonight's game. So there's been 4 changes to the squad. What are you expecting from the Bluebirds tonight?
Hard to beat. I think that's what Steve Morrison has brought in. Have a solid base, be hard to beat, play the way he wants them to play, as in passing, you're at home, express yourselves, keep the ball. But yeah, it's going to be, neither side can see many, so it's going to be one of them sort of games. It'll either be 6 goals or it's going to be 0-0. It's going to be a night like that, I think.
Now, Luton Town, they had a slow start to the season. They're starting to come into form now. What kind of challenge are you expecting them to put up tonight?
Yeah, I feel for Luton because their expectation this season, based on what they achieved last season, to get for a side of a club like Luton, no disrespect, no one expects them to be in there come the end of the season last season. So they went above and beyond them, and they probably want to do it again, but it's not as easy as that. Football it doesn't plan like that, and yeah, I mean, it's going to be a tough game. Both sides, like I said, don't concede many goals. Don't score many goals, so I'm not sure which way it's going to go, but it's going to be a tough one tonight. Both coming off the back of a draw, so let's hope there are some goals tonight.
Hopefully. And obviously, you mentioned how well Luton did last season. They could be in the Premier League had the playoffs gone their way. They'll still be going off the confidence from that. Having a slow start season doesn't indicate that, but they should still be having some confidence based on what they can perform like.
Of course, looking at the league table, they'll want to be higher, like everybody does. Yeah, so it doesn't look good on the eye, but Palomina's first team coach there, and he said, look, we're a very good footballing team, so I expect them to want to keep the ball tonight as well. But yeah, the expectation, they should have high confidence, like you said. Based on what they did last season, but look, you have to go do it again and again and again. You can't live off one season. You have to come back pre-season. You start all over again. But yeah, I've got high hopes for both clubs. Cardiff, I've been, like I said, I keep saying, I've been very impressed with. So I'm hoping they're in there come the end of the season, mixed up.
Any in particular Bluebird tonight that you think is going to stand out? Are you looking forward to watching?
I did enjoy watching Wintle the other night. Great player, really enjoyed it. A lot runs through him. Gets his foot on the ball, picks the pass. NG I liked as a centre half. He always seemed to be in the right place. Good in the air, blocking shots. That's what I built my career on. So yeah, I enjoyed watching him. And Max Waters up top. He's got pace to burn. So hopefully he can get in behind tonight and get a goal.
Final prediction for tonight. The score?
I'm going to go 2-1 Bluebirds.
Nice. Well, thank you for joining me. Good luck in commentary. The game is going to be shortly underway, but thank you for joining us. The game will be starting after these short messages.
Top 5 in association with the Big Yellow Self-Storage Company.
Comes in. Will Fulks on the volley. 2-0. And there's the somersault.
We had a sighter in the first half from distance, and we said that if the ball's going to drop you on the edge of the box in the Cardiff shirt, you want it to be ball from set piece. It hits the ball sweet, it strikes the ball cleanly and with power in those areas. So the horde of players in front of the goalkeeper isn't as much of a hindrance as it is for others.
Wilson. Ball goes to ground. Still not interested. It's clear. Better. Good enough for the game, I think, in possession. To stay forward. Now here's Harry Wilson. Left on strike. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful from Harry Wilson. A City lead.
And that's why you do leave him on there when the game isn't going his way and he's struggling with possession, struggling to bring the shackles and markers, because he just has magic in his boots.
Good evening, welcome to Cardiff City TV.
Holden, he'll shoot and he'll score! One in the area! And it's not within
Welcome to Cardiff City TV. Welcome to Cardiff City Stadium for live coverage of the Bluebirds' first midweek home encounter of the season against Nathan Jones's Luton Town, a Cardiff team who have opened the season with 3 consecutive clean sheets on home soil for the first time in 103 years, looking to equal long-standing club record. Ashley James here on commentary, delighted to say, joined this evening by a player we all remember fondly around these parts, Mr. Roderick Johnson.
Yes, hi, thanks for having me again. Good to be back. I've not been back many times, so to come back and see the atmosphere and watch the boys, I'm buzzing to be here.
And you were at West Brom a couple of weeks ago. You've seen the defensive side of the Cardiff team working particularly well. That hasn't been the frustrating end of the pitch, though, for the Bluebirds' point of view.
Yeah, it's good to look. you need a solid base, and he's certainly got that. And whatever he's done with the lads through pre-season, back end of last season, he's installed that solidarity where the lads are dying for clean sheets, and that's important. I respect that as a defender myself. And then if you're keeping clean sheets, you've got more chance of getting up the other end and getting a 1-0, and if you're on fire that day, you're going to win by more. But yeah, I think the fans are not getting restless, but the lack of goals is obviously an issue. So let's hope it changes tonight too. If you can see, but it's nice to see